People are asking me questions. When do I get to be in the loop?
I think that Nicholas is still operating off the premise that Mutahar is just 100% an honest actor. But I just don't think that's the case. You admitted to committing a crime, my dude! This victim narrative is crazy, bro. So beyond that, okay, there's another thing that has occurred in all of this, which I think demonstrates some of the dishonesty at play here, right? So, I mentioned this earlier. Long story short is that there was a video that was up from Nux Taku, which apparently, I've not watched it yet, allegedly is running defense or, you know, giving cover to Zero's actions. And I think, you know, I think there's kind of a broad societal agreement about the Zero stuff that it was pretty fucked up. Okay? I think we can all agree. We watched it recently, in fact. We watched it on Thanksgiving. Now, what's interesting about this in particular, okay, is that from what I can understand and from what I can gather, okay, dude, I'm getting a lot of shit here. What is all this? Check out the comment section. Okay, we'll take a look at some of that stuff in a sec, okay? So the long story short is that Zero was criticised. He was then defended by technicals. It created a whole bunch of drama. And it seems like in the midst of all of this, Nux Taku decided to make a video about it. And apparently he like defends Zero or gives cover to Zero or something like that. Okay? Now, the long and the short of it is, from what I understand, this is then something that Nicholas has seen. He then sent that to Mutahar, which presumably has then ended up in Nux Taku's hands, and apparently Nux Taku privated this video. So this narrative that Nux Taku is an open, honest person is pretty diminished from where I'm sitting, and it seems like he is, you know, like sweeping his old videos the way he looks bad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like taking down something you don't agree with anymore, or what, you know, there's nothing fundamentally wrong with that. It just seems very sweeping to be sent a video, or be presented with a video and then privating it off the back of people finding it and talking about it. Right? Pretty crazy behavior. And this is the guy, Nux Taku, claiming that, oh, actually, I'm open about this. These videos are still up and you can still watch them. Very slippery behavior. So anyway, fortunately, old Lips the Oreo, Lips deletes Oreos, has actually put the video on Twitter, so we're going to have a look at it. But before that, obviously, from what I understand, Nicholas is friends with Mutahar. And it looks like he is, you know, I don't know what you call this. I wouldn't say this is a kick out the clubhouse, so to speak. But I do think he's starting to see how fucking crazy Mutahar's behavior is here. Okay? So full transparency, I have no fucking clue what's going on with Mutahar. I don't know why he removed his video. I have no clue why he felt like he needed to walk back the things he said, and I'm completely lost on why he felt like he owed Nux an apology. I'm lost. It's because Mutahar is a liar. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know how to be nice about it or friendly about it. He lies. He lies to cover his own tracks because he always wants to be seen as the hero, the brave warrior on YouTube taking down bad things. And in this situation, he looks bad. And so he's obfuscating and lying and misdirecting in order to not look bad. What other take are you supposed to have about this and his actions and the way he's behaved, particularly over the upload of this recent video? Tell me the other take. Tell me the other take and I'll consider it. But to me, you know, I can only imagine what the interactions are like behind the scenes. I don't know. I reached out this morning, and the only update is he dipped out of a few group chats. So yes, as I said earlier, this is true. There's 2 group chats he was not participating in, but he was sort of a part of. Okay. And he just kind of like left them, which is interesting because apparently he's not using Twitter anymore. So presumably he's logged into it or looked at it to do that. Okay. Nux is going around acting like he was pressured to drop him. It feels a little personal, Lamal. Anyway, he talks about the VODs. And then there's stuff like this. Okay. Dude, his Reddit is, oh. Oof. So this is from 3 months ago, apparently. Why did Mutahar delete all of his tweets? Is this another Dr. D pedo situation? Apparently Mutahar, some ordinary gamers, reactivated his Twitter only to then suddenly delete every tweet from the last 9 months.
But how do I make money?
And this is 3 months ago.
Nux needs to do an interview with you. You're basically the founder of this movement. The only reason he isn't is because he's being a beach.
Thank you for the super chat. Yes, that was already proposed, but it never happened. But I would happily speak to Nux, Mutahar, anyone involved to hash this out. This is old news. Yeah, but I wasn't aware of this. Maybe I don't know, dude. My basic understanding of this, right? I think I spoke about it briefly on a stream. Was that Mutahar was upset or bothered by the amount of anti-Indian hate that he kept getting on X. And so he decided to leave X, Twitter. That's my understanding of what happened. I'm not sure if maybe I did cover this. If so, you know, I'll take the L on not remembering, but I don't remember talking about or covering him deleting all of his tweets. Deletes Twitter, comes back weeks later. This is from the Discord, someone saying this. Blames it on racist memes. At the same time, deletes all tweets from the past year. Why? So this is him responding to it months ago. I reactivated to prevent impersonation. I had the account linked under every video and did not want someone grabbing it and uploading adult content. Worried that the account would then get my YouTube channel striked for linking to adult material. Other than that, I'm just running a script that cleans the account. Given Twitter's API limits, it takes a while to do. Right, okay. So he wanted to clean the account for some reason. But then he definitely logged in recently because he left these 2 group chats. I don't think that he would have left those group, like that's clearly not a random thing. And at some point he also unfollowed me on Twitter. So yeah, this. But then what would he be deleting? Like, what would he be deleting that would be so bad for people to see, I guess is what I don't understand. Yeah. It's like there's something about, he's not moving right. He ain't moving right, okay? Like, there's something about this that I'm a bit like, what's going on here? So yeah, I don't know, dude. Bit confusing. Bit of a confusing situation. Why delete the fucking tweets? Yeah. But anyway, someone just linked that as something that happened a little while ago, so I'm just throwing it in here. So anyway, moving on from this, let's have a little look. We've then got, okay, we've then got this, which again is another clip of me. Bit awkward, a little bit awkward. Another clip of me to look at. I'm trying to pick my words carefully, I really am, but what pressure? He was ready to look into Nux and drop him months ago. This is like wildly fucking frustrating, but that's it from me for the night. So I think that what explains this is that back here, he thought that this would die off, that this story would just die off and no one would really talk about it much. But then Hassan brought attention to it, and that's why he's now responded. And from my understanding, I believe Keemstar had spoken to him or something. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I heard on the grapevine. Apparently Keemstar was talking to him about doing a response to this. But I think the Hassan stuff is where the pressure is coming from primarily. But you can see here.
Okay, I'm frustrated. I just need to show you this. This is a clip of me, Tom, Mutahar, and chudlogic duking it out and talking about the Nux drama. Listen to what Muta says right here.
All this energy, and now it just feels awkward.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good fucking confrontation. I sent the fucking stuff over to Nux. I think like he should have a good explanation for it. If he doesn't, then we shouldn't be working together. I think the Tom perspective is good. It's like, I'm going to watch this video, and I like to believe that me and Tom have a pretty similar worldview going forward and how we perceive things. And if Tom says that, then fucking...
Muta's channel got boosted by Nux, so he's biased. Believe or not, Nux used to be massive.
Thank you for the super chat. You know, there's other things that happen in this conversation too. Like, he asked me, what should I do about this? Like, again, it comes across as kind of placating. Like, what do you want me to do, Chud? And I'm just like, well, that's up to you. I'm not your fucking dad. right? I'm just talking about stuff that's happening on the internet, and you decide what you want to do with your channel, your life, your connections. So I don't know. It's like he's just desperate to please the person he's talking to, which I think explains a lot of this, personally.
There's a 99% chance.
Does this sound like a guy who's been pressured? Does this sound like a guy who hasn't come up with this idea on his own? If your answer is, well, this sounds like it's his genuine opinion and something he wants to do, well, why did it happen in August? It's fucking December. Bro, there's no Hassan here, motherfucker. Nobody's putting pressure on you. You wanted to do this.
Nicholas, I think he was lying. I think he was lying back then. I think he was saying whatever he could to placate the people in front of him, but then he didn't expect it to blow up more, so he thought he could just this could quietly die off. Because who was making content about this? What videos did you see about the situation beyond what was on my channel? Not to suck my own dick or anything, but I don't think many people were making videos about this, or cutting segments about this, or talking about this, including Nicholas. I don't think people were really meaningfully talking about this. Not to sound ungrateful. Appreciate the fact that Nicholas, got him on stream to talk to him about this. But I just don't think this was like a big story back then. So Mutahar probably thought he could just quietly let it slide by. But then when Hassan talked about it, it blew all this fucking attention onto it. And then it was unavoidable. That's my perception, at least.
This has been...
Yeah, me, Nikan, Josh, harmful opinions. Yeah, sure. But, beyond that.
Sitting in the back of your mind since August. And then you apologize to him in 6 hours? And deleted the video? Bro, and you leave all the group chats. You don't answer the fucking messages. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. How am I supposed to cover this better? People are asking me questions. When do I get to be in the loop?
I think that Nicholas is still operating off the premise that Mutahar is just 100% an honest actor. But I just don't think that's the case. I think that he's a liar. And he lies to protect himself and protect his image. And he obfuscates. And he's, a worried little weasel or something. I don't know, dude. Bro, what other explanation is there for all of this, dude? How else can you explain this behavior? It doesn't make any sense. Does this seem like the actions of an honest operator who's upfront and willing to confront their past and their issues and their downsides? It just doesn't seem that way to me. So anyway, then there's this, which we're going to watch. And the main reason I wanted to talk a bit about some of these tweets, because Nicholas shared this, which now isn't loading for some reason. Is it my internet? No, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The video was up on Monday. 3 cigarette emojis. Nux, zero controversy. Video unavailable. This video is private. Okay. And then he's just put up the fucking video that was deleted because obviously he archived it. So here we go, guys. Welcome back, Zero. Am I right?
Zero posted this. Hey, now this is a topic. Sheesh. I have opinions about the Zero drama. Much opinions about the Zero drama, actually. So for those of you that are unaware, Zero was a member of the Smash community. And there were crazy allegations about a year and a half ago that popped out about how a lot of people in the Smash community were pedophiles and stuff. Now, the allegations against Zero were not nearly as intense as the allegations against many of the people, but Zero himself apologized. He corroborated some of them, and he then left the internet for a while. This is his response to these allegations that happened about a year and a half ago. Appears he is back. Now, I have inside info on this whole thing, because I have actually been in contact with Zero over the last year and a half. This is, by the way, coming out at the same time as...
Oh my god, dude. He's doing the thing, isn't he, of I know about this, guys. I've got inside info, and then presumably is going to give an absolutely horrendous take that somewhat exonerates Zero. Even though... Bro... This is the kind of thing you should not give a take on unless you've looked into it. Much like Mutahar talking about Tiger, you need to know the ins and outs of it before you give a solid take on this.
Someone else that made a video basically exonerating a lot of the claims against Zero. So let's see what he has to say.
Hey everyone, it's been a long time since I've talked to you guys on this channel. As you may have heard, I was involved in some big allegations as of last year, and since then I have not uploaded to this channel. I have taken a break from social media and I pretty much just up and disappear. In this video...
Bro, starting at the response of the person that's been accused. I mean, it feels like a sort of mini technical situation.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Let's be honest, Nux was huge, which makes him well connected. Brigrading uses him as an example, he still probably has connections.
Thank you, Fawn Dylan, for the super chats.
To clear the air about that and what the next steps are for this channel and me in general.
Just saying, this man lost like 70,000 subs over the last year. He hasn't posted anything at all. And because, like, he got absolutely obliterated by the community. And then, like, I've been saying for a long time, cancel culture is all in your head. And if you get canceled, the only person that could cancel you is you. This man took it really, really hard. Really hard. Because a lot of people were really against him. And most of the things that were claimed against him, he did not do. I, personally, being the chaotic, benevolent overlord that
a lot of the things claimed against him he did not do. Okay, but what about him soliciting CSAM material and admitting to doing so, but then retracting it, coincidentally, when he seemingly realised there wasn't evidence to prove that he'd done that, but he had admitted to it. And then the narrative was that was his suicide note, and he said it because he was going to top himself, so what does it matter? But then there was other comments in that statement which were defending himself, thus undermining the idea that he was putting out a statement, accepting something as a sort of self-harm aspect almost. I mean, dude, I don't think we need to explain this. I don't think we need to get into this. I think we all know the story enough of Zero. We literally went over it recently in the Thanksgiving thing, the historic Thanksgiving tension stream. I think we know what's what here, don't we? And I think regardless of whether or not you know the ins and outs of this, I think we can all agree that weighing in on a drama like this with lots of, you know, complex aspects and situations and movements and twists is not a good idea. And it's certainly not a good idea to just watch the response of the accused and go off of that. And it's also not a good idea to go, I've got behind the scenes information and act like you know something about it if you're going to give terrible takes on it.
I am. I really don't like seeing people in bad mental states now. Even though I don't know, obviously, all the inner workings of what's been going on with a lot of people. I knew Zero before this went down. And he attempted suicide several times over the last few months. So I've kept in contact with him just because...
He's doing he tried to top himself, let's feel sorry for him shtick. Yeah. Because he thought banged to rights on soliciting CSAM and even admitted to doing so. What the fuck?
That should not happen to anybody. No one should be in that place ever. And it's really sad. So anyway, I don't have like a take as far as what actually happened because I was not there, but I do know that I did keep in...
See, I need to choose my words carefully because I got in trouble for the S word before, right? I, as you know, right, I'm not like a wood chipper guy. I find some of that rhetoric quite cringe. You know, we don't like pedos, etc. But I just think broadly, if you're feeling upset, sad, or depressed, and it's a product of you doing something wrong, and there's a public attention on it, and you're getting criticized and attacked for that, but you have done something fundamentally wrong, I find it difficult to like have this big concern. I mean, on a human level, this guy should go and get assistance and go and seek out a therapist or whatever he needs to do to deal with that. But it just feels so manipulative to do the whole, oh, they're super suicidal though and all this shit, right? Like, there are probably some lines that I draw. Like, I don't think, like, you should go to his house and knock on his door. I don't think you should pester him. I don't think you should directly pester his family to get, you know, information about it and talk about it. But I think if you just want to talk about it broadly on the internet of something he's done that's bad and criticize him for that, it's up to him to sort of manage that situation, you know? And he's got to deal with that of his own accord, particularly when I think, you know, very strongly, arguably, he has done something very wrong. And it just feels like bringing up the suicide thing is just a manipulation technique.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Did you see Mutahar was apparently sent a blackmail letter and made a video about it 2 months ago? It's all very weird and the timing is crazy.
I don't know anything about that. Thank you for the super chat. I've got another thing to get to today. Maybe we'll take a look at that tomorrow, but thank you.
Contact with him this whole time, and it was kind of messed up that no one else did. Like, not no one, obviously, but a lot of people didn't. He does not deserve the hate to the extent that he got. It's tragic. Anyway.
To start off, you probably heard of all of this from a document made by Jisoo.
I mean, bro. I mean, he did, though. He did. He was accused of asking a 14-year-old to, you know, send naked images of themselves using ice cubes in some way. And then he said, yeah, I did do that thing. And he got shit for that. Right? I mean, I'm sorry, but if you admit to trying to solicit CSAM, I think that you deserve to get a lot of shit for that. Yes, even if it's going to affect your mental health. Bro, this is an insane video that he's made it. I wonder who's taken it down.
Which was then later spread by multiple media outlets. This document contains a very large amount of lies, falsehoods, big exaggerations, and honestly, it is nothing more than a piece to assassinate my character and ruin my image to the general public. There is a lot to go over, but the easiest and best way to learn the truth is to watch these 2 videos made by Technicals, with one of them actually being released today. Technicals did extensive research for half a year to really dig the truth, interviewed many people, gathered so much evidence, and honestly, he put 2 pieces together that could explain what really happened better than I could with my own words. You will absolutely want to watch both of these videos fully to really learn the truth, see how everything happened, who is involved, and really just see how it all came to be.
So I did watch both of these videos, and there were a lot of facts present. And while he didn't disprove everything in the allegation department, the situation is not nearly as bad as the community took it out on this guy. Like, not even close. Like, as far as canceled people have been canceled for worse and are still...
Bro, he admitted to soliciting CSAT. What? That's about as bad as it gets, no? The only thing I can think of that'd be worse is meeting up with a child and, you know, diddling them. Wait. In terms of internet shit, that's about as bad as it gets. Okay, bro, this is just insane.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Gonna try and be
But
fair.
How do I make money off depressed people?
You know who's big and pretty easy to talk to? Anthony Padilla. He's at least met Nux in person. You would have to go on his show though.
Thank you for the $5. Yeah, sure, I'd obviously be interested in that, but I don't know if I could go on I can't just get on shows like that. But thank you very much for the $5. To be fair, there is, I think, an explanation for this. Okay? I think that it's okay, I didn't know what I was talking about, but I wanted to cut a video for the sake of, you know, getting attention. Maybe there's an explanation. However, the fact that this video has since been privated, the fact this video has now been privated would suggest to me that there's something to hide here, rather than just being upfront and honest about what happened. All this little business of like, we'll get sent a video, private this, private that. It just sounds like he's trying to cover this shit up rather than just honestly address it.
Still thriving.
I've added links to both of these videos down below. A common misconception is that I have been framed as a liar and that I lied in all of my Twitter statements. This is not true. You can see this evidence in more detail in Technical's video. The reason I seem to switch stances is simply because at the time I did not have proper evidence, witnesses that came forward later, and I just did not have the full picture in front of me. I also lost a lot of faith in if the public will actually believe my story.
By the way, I'll tell you what's going on there. In the original allegation, he was accused of asking this individual to masturbate with ice cubes and send him a picture of that. Okay? That's what he was accused of. He then admitted to that, right? But then my perception, I guess, is that... Okay, look at that in a sec. My perception... Just stop distracting me with funny memes, okay? Okay, I'm going to do it. Dude. Shut up. Redacted. Now ban all the black anime enjoys in chat. Okay, dude. Dude. That is so good. That is so true. Based. Okay, there we go. That'll go in the segment now. What was I saying anyway? Anyway, let's just continue.
Story, seeing how vicious people were during that period of time.
So I could actually, I guess I should wait a little longer, but I can corroborate that to a certain degree. Like when I talked to him a while back, like after this happened, he was saying, I'm never coming back online. I'm hated by the world, and there's no hope, and I can't do it. And I said, no, you could definitely do it. You still have a large audience and stuff like that. But this is definitely, like, a lot of people claim that I was in a dark place excuse, but that's not even what he's saying here. This is why he didn't respond well to it originally, and that is true.
At the time, I pretty much only had
All the context is missing from this, though. God. This, I mean, I was thinking, oh, he's just fucking wade into a drama that he doesn't understand. But that doesn't seem to be the case at all. He is actively sweeping for zero based on the, like, correct talking points to do so of this suicidality thing. Fucking hell, dude.
had my word and memory to defend myself, I figure it will be a lot easier to just apologize than to fight it. Obviously, now that I put it that way, I made a tremendous mistake. You have also probably heard of a so-called confession for my part.
Okay, that's
Simply
wonderful.
put, this document is
make
nothing more than a suicide letter that I
What
wrote.
do you mean you can't get on shows like that? Just ask dude. You are more than relevant enough. You'll just be highly censored.
Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate the thoughts. Thank you.
During a tremendous mental breakdown.
So again, this man made an apology to some of the allegations, corroborating them and saying they were true. And now again, he's saying that he's not sure if they were true as much.
Which allegations in
How do
particular?
I make money off depressed people?
I'm sorry everyone, maybe I should have finished the job.
Thank you, Zero's past. Okay, that's too much. Thank you very much for the tip. What allegation, even, in particular, did he admit to? God, the sweep job is insane, bro.
Which definitely does look like a take backsies. Now, to say that it wasn't true because I wrote it like a suicide letter because I was in a dark place, that's not normally an answer that will satisfy me. That said, I do know for a fact that he did attempt suicide multiple times over the last
Okay,
month.
this guy could have tried to top himself 100 times. Okay? It doesn't really speak to the narrative of what did or didn't happen. Because guess what? People who are accused of things that are terrible might top themselves because they don't want to deal with the consequences of that. Now, again, I'm not doing the wood chipper thing. People should go and seek help, and I don't want people to die, necessarily. But it's just obvious this narrative was presented as a sort of sob story to try and garner favour back in Zero's corner. You know? And it's like, to just solely talk about how bad he felt whilst avoiding mentioning what the allegation was and what he admitted to is sweeping, as far as I'm concerned.
Like, talking to him, it's not a hoax. Like, sometimes the I'm in a dark place excuse is a hoax. This time it ain't, bro. It ain't.
I had fully planned to take my life right after posting that document because
It doesn't have to be a hoax for it still to be an effort to try and garner sympathy when someone has done something wrong.
I pretty much lost all faith in that scenario. Seeing so many of my close friends deciding to take the situation, to throw me under the bus for personal gain, seeing how people were reacting in general, and me just feeling like
Bro, throw me under the bus for personal gain. You admitted to committing a crime, my dude. What is this? If someone says, oh yeah, they tried to solicit CSAM, throwing you under the bus, they just don't want to associate with someone who's appeared to commit a crime. What, dude? This fucking victim narrative is crazy, bro. Of course, if someone is openly saying, I committed a crime and what I did here, they're not going to want to necessarily fuck around with that.
could not defend myself properly. Pretty much took the last bit of hope that I had left, and I decided not just to give up, but to sabotage myself on purpose. If you have been watching my content for years now, it should be no surprise that I have been rather open about my mental.
There is no way people would apologize for things they didn't do. Okay. It would be extremely unusual for someone to cop to specifically doing something and then later to retract it with the idea that, oh, there's no evidence to back that up and use this sob story. Like, if you genuinely think this is a case where he's admitted to something because of some sort of public pressure, you're delusional and you are buying into this insane narrative that's been presented, okay? Zero did that shit, all right? Zero fucking did that shit, I'm telling you.
Mental struggles and depression in general. This is not my first fight with suicide, and for a long time I have been really struggling with that line. But after taking time to reflect and think properly and review all of the evidence that came forward later on, I realized this was a big plot to assassinate my character and just destroy my life. Since then, I have retained legal counsel to take the necessary steps to deal with this scenario, and I'm also in the middle of a lawsuit with some of the involved parties in this case. This case is also more complicated than other cases.
All of that, all of this is obfuscation. All of this stuff about the lawsuit. Okay, the lawsuit was in regards to the claims made by, was it Jisoo? Is that right? Yes, Nicholas is on the money. Of course, you obviously
Okay, that's
covered
wonderful.
this extensively.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Anthony Padilla is notoriously easy to talk to, but he's extremely family friendly. I'm just saying he's someone you can talk to who's met.
Thank you for the $5. This video is literally, oopsie, I admitted to it, assuming you guys have proof, but you don't. Awkward. Anyway, so I'm suing everyone. Yes, exactly. He realised there was no proof to back up that he'd done this, so he came up with this fucking story that it was a suicide note, which was ridiculous, when it wasn't a fucking suicide note, to try and cover up the fact that he'd admitted to doing it. Very simple story, very simple case if you know the details, okay? But there are complexities to it that Nux Taku is intentionally avoiding because he wants to sweep for fucking pedo.
This is because there's a lot of people involved. Some of the parties are completely anonymous, and this all makes taking the right steps extremely difficult. I am doing my best. But
yes, interesting point to bring up, Shinji. So in the lawsuit, Zero was actually chastised by the judge, if I'm remembering correctly, because there wasn't, like, from his side, a dressing of the ice cube thing, and he commented on the fact that that hadn't been, you know, resoundingly denied in the course of filing the papers, right? So, I don't know, dude. It's like, there's a lot of complexity to this that I think backs up the idea that he did do something. And I think you have to go to insane levels of charitability to get to a point where you think this was a suicide note. He admitted to it because he was going to top himself, you know, etc.
it is not easy. Now, I need to make this very clear.
When he says not easy, it's twofold. Like, on the one hand, there's the legal side of it, things you can't say and things you have to do legally. And then on the other side, there's the mental stress side. That's really what was holding him back from coming back this whole time. Having spoken to the guy, that was his #1 biggest boundary. And I'm honestly not exonerating anything because I don't know the situation personally.
Yes, the lawsuit was settled, and that was used as a means with which to act like everything that he was accused of was wrong because the lawsuit got settled. Very deceptive moves being made from Zero's side.
From a mental health space, this man has been blasted way harder than he deserved for the actual factual things that people claim he done. You know? What this man went through over the last year was like a tragedy, an actual tragedy.
To everybody watching
Jesus
this video,
Christ,
I have
bro.
never received explicit images from any underage individual. I have never sent explicit images to any underage individual. I have never made travel arrangements with ulterior motives with any underage individual. I have never been touched or touched in any shape or form any underage individual. And I have never had conversations with only the intention to groom an underage individual or take advantage of them. Anything you may have heard or...
So, interesting things he said there, but what's missing? What is the thing he didn't say that he was accused of? Only the intention. Very interesting words he's using there, but what does he not plainly state? He doesn't say, I've never asked a minor for pictures, which is what he was accused of. So the thing that he was accused of doing in this little phrase of the things he didn't do, he didn't mention that part. Quite specific wording, isn't it, that he's using there? Interesting. Interesting.
or seen that suggests otherwise is a lie. Moving forward, I will not be addressing this topic publicly anymore, and I will let my legal team address anything that may surface from this topic. I am not putting myself out there for the game of social media allegations anymore. If you hear or see anything that may come up about this case in general, it is safe to assume that my team is taking care of it, but behind the scenes, not publicly. In terms of the future of this channel, I will be returning to make content. This will be in the form of Smash Bros videos or variety content as I was making before. I do not represent a danger or harm to anybody, and I do have the right to utilize my platforms and make the content that I want to make.
Again, another thing that's worth noting, all the allegations against him were over like 6 years old. Like, this man had a squeaky clean record for 6 years, and a lot of what was said about him was clearly fabricated. So if you were
Bro. It was a long time ago. He's had a clean record since then. Another Technicals video talking point, right? It just feels like he's watched the Technicals video and half listened to it and was just repeating the points to sweep for this guy. That's what it comes across like to me.
Gonna make things up? If you needed to work that hard to make things up, you could have come up with something in the last 6 years that he did, right?
Obviously, some things will be different,
Literally the
as
same
some things
talking
cannot
points.
be repaired from this scenario. But my passion has always been to make quality content and to entertain people and make videos in general. And I feel like I can do all of that while staying in my lane and living my life. People have the choice, not the obligation, to watch or support my content if they wish to do so. But I do hope that those of you guys that are interested in watching my content again, give it a chance. I understand very well I am not fault-free here and I've made mistakes, but those mistakes do not represent the person I am today or the person I want to be moving forward. Change and reflection already happened many years ago, and I am a completely different person than when I was 19 years of age. Today I'm married, I'm about to be 27.
By the way, this man's wife is an angel. I'm just saying, she saved his life. Like, without her, I don't think he would be alive today.
So, what mistakes are we referring to then? God, the way he responds here, it's like total legalese bullshit dancing around it all. And fucking Nux Taku is just signing off on it. Yep, this is all great. Oh, by the way, his wife's lovely. No wonder he deleted this when it got sent to him. Holy fuck, dude, the sweep is on.
Off depressed people.
Have you tried reaching out to people like Penguins Zero? Him and Nux are business partners, but I don't know anything about their relationship.
Thank you for the $5. I'm not in the business. I'm not fucking reaching out to Penguin Zero about this. Okay? I'm not in the business of fucking talking. I've never spoken to him before in my life. Okay? Thank you for the $5. By all means, keep sending your suggestions through. I do appreciate it. Okay? But I don't know what you think. I'm just talking about shit that's happening on the internet. That's it. Okay?
To start a family. I want to support the people that have been good to me, that are close to me. I want to entertain people. I want to chase my passion of creating content and making people laugh. And I just want to live my life. And that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. Content will resume tomorrow as of 10 a.m. EST as it was before. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Thank you.
Again, this was a very well put together response video. Like a really well put together response video.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
I didn't do it, and I am a completely different person from when I didn't do it.
Very true, Potato. Thank you for the £5.
And it must have been very hard to make, but it was really well put together. This is a bit of a yikers situation. And again, I don't know all the facts or all the stories, so this isn't like an exoneration thing on my part. But bro, mental health is so not a joke.
Apostle
it is so
became a
not
member.
a joke, and
Apostle
it hurts
celebrates 2
Thank
months
you
of
for the membership.
Chirp.
Dude. Chirp indeed. I think that's Zero's back. I don't know who's back on this. This is just... why would you release this, dude? I mean, bro, just crazy that he's put this out. You know, people will say, "Oh, he's sweet. It's a pedo super for a pedo." I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what's going on here. Okay. I think the Nux Taku has seen all the discourse around this, right? He's not really looked into it in any detail. He's seen all the stuff about Zero and the technical stuff, and seen that people have somewhat sided with technicals at one point. Okay. So he's come out and just gone, oh yeah, this guy was really badly accused and he was suicidal, and I think that's really bad. Like, he's just put together a half-cocked video, not looking at all the details, in order to generate attention, clout, and money on his channel. That is what I believe has happened here. I don't think that lines up with a lot of his other behavior, you know?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
But I invite people to come to their own conclusions. Thank you for the super chats, Dofro Show and Lumpy Willie. Appreciate it.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how
That's
do
my
I
view on
make
it.
money off depressed people?
Obviously, people are free to come to their own conclusions. That's my view on it based on everything I've seen about this guy. This is just make a video about Zero, picking a side, not really knowing about it, generate income and attention. That is my view.
so badly to see people in trouble. By the way, funny story. I collabed with this guy on a video on my channel a few weeks before he got canceled, and everyone that collabed with him.
Wow. This guy's done, bro. Every time he's, I've shown these people DJ anime shit before.
At the time, they all took their videos down, and I didn't take my video down. And people were flaming me that I still have that video up to this day. We reacted to like the greatest fights in hentai or something, and people were blasting me that I didn't take that video down. But I didn't want to take the video down, to be honest. I didn't want to take it down for multiple reasons. I don't like the two-facedness of, on the one hand, reaching out to Zero and making sure he's okay, but hey, publicly, I'm staying away from you, ha ha ha. Yeah, this is a horrible situation, all in all. And I am glad that mentally he is in a better place than he was over the last year. Anyway, that's a thing that happened. Sheesh, sheesh, sheesh. Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.
Bro, this guy's such a fucking loser. Holy shit.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
This new generation of Dono whales have no manners. Suggestions need to be $50 and above.
Thank you for the $5, Musty. So, there we go. Yeah. For now, I think that is more or less what we're dealing with here. Maybe some content for tomorrow? Question mark. But apparently they're talking about it on LolCal Live. Yo! Let's go.